Hello everyone, I am Yatish Kuril, founder of Yatish Management Show. I welcome you all to my show. Uh, in this show, I invite normally distinguished faculty, successful entrepreneurs, and experts from the industries who speak on best practices used in the companies, ideas, innovations, research, and insight for small medium enterprises and family managed businesses. Today, I have guest Mr. Devang Raja. I welcome Mr. Devang Raja to you in my show. Can you hear me, Devang? Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes, I
yeah,
can. Thank you.
okay, yeah. Devang Raja will be speaking on today how to raise fund for the business, for all kind of companies in related to Indian context. So over to Devang.
Thank you, Yatish. Thanks a lot. You are doing a fantastic job. Please keep that up, right? So, good morning, everybody. On a fantastic Sunday, I welcome all of you to the event. You've taken out time on a Sunday morning to understand how do you raise funding for your business here in India. All right. At this, let me quickly introduce myself first, so that you know who am I and why am I here for. All right. I am the founder of Venture Wolf. We guys operate across India and help companies with their fundraising. We work with investors across the globe: India, Middle East, Singapore, Israel, UK, Europe, Japan, right? Again, so we work with HNI, private investors, family offices, VC, national funds, impact funds as well, right? So we work with a large area of investors here. Our ticket size can start anywhere from $100K, can go up till $50 million. We've got the ability to pull in multiple investors to close a larger round if required. So that's what we basically do at Venture Wolf. Now coming to the topic, how do you raise funds in today's business scenario, right? So there are two ways. First is your equity and second is your debt. What we'll do is we'll talk more about equity, right? Debt funding is all available in the market. If you've got good CIBIL scores, if you have the right set of documentation, any bank would lend you money, right? Within debt, there's a secured debt, there's an unsecured debt, right? There are a lot of players in market who'll help you with your debt funding. We at Venture Wolf can also help you with your debt funding, right? So in case if you need debt funding for your growth, do get in touch with us. Now let's talk about equity funding. That's something that's more interesting to a lot of people here, because a lot of companies, a lot of startups want to raise funding from investors on an equity mode. What do you do? How do you raise funding via equity mode, right? First of all, what is an equity mode? You give your shares to an investor in exchange of the money that they give you. That is called equity funding, right? So they give you money, you give them the shares of your company. That's called equity funding. How do you do that? What do you have to do, right? A lot of things. So first of all, you need to have a good business in place, a good business plan in place, right? Post which you need to have a good team. You should have been able to create some kind of business out of it. Do a POC, proof of concept, right? uh, Try and test your idea, see whether that idea is really executable. If you've done that, pivot it over a number of times to come to a final product, because the first product that you develop is not going to be the last product, right? So over a period of time, pivot, come up with a final product that you think is going to hit the market, test that product, thereafter go and start talking to the investors. That's what you basically do in a fundraising, right? uh, what things do you have to keep in mind, or how do you prepare a fundraise, right? Very, very important. Get your fundraising documents in place, starting from your pitch deck to your financial forecast, right? Your IMs, your company documentation. I've seen a lot of startups goof up on this. A lot of companies want to get the funding raised, but they don't have a good pitch deck. Your pitch deck is the first impression to investors. Let's understand this, right? If you do not have a good pitch deck, investors will not even come back to you with an answer most of the times, right? So invest in your pitch deck. There are a lot of people in market who create professional pitch decks. If you need help in how to create pitch decks, do get in touch with us. We will help you how to create a good pitch deck, right? Post which, be realistic in asking the I've seen people ask for humongous amounts. We're looking to raise around $5 million, $10 million at a seed stage. Do you really need that money at this stage? Probably yes, probably no, I don't know, right? But be realistic. Probably you just need $500,000 or 1 million at this stage, grow the company valuation, then raise a larger round, right? Just because some company has raised 5 million, $10 million doesn't mean that you start asking for those kind of numbers, all right? Do you even deserve to get those numbers? That's what the question is. So be realistic in your ask amount, right? While you have your ask amount in mind, be very, very clear about your future path. Have your financial projections ready. How are you going to utilize that money? What's going to be the runway for that money that you're asking for, right? Get that document correct, done, all right? If you need help in that, do get in touch with us. We'll help you with that as well, right? But please get these documentations, at least your pitch deck and financial forecast, right, before you start with your fundraising process or starting pitching to the investors. So these are the two main documents I would say excuse me, that you need before you start with your fundraising, right? Now what happens? Let's say you have these two documents, pitch deck and your financial forecast ready. Okay, now get in touch with a proper fundraiser. If you know investors directly, talk to a few investors directly. If you don't, then get in touch with a fundraiser who can help you with your fundraising properly, right? Excuse me, just give me, I think there's something burning out there. Sorry. Give me a moment, please. I'm sorry everybody, right? I thought there's something burning out there and that is why I had to rush, right? Extremely sorry for that. So once you have your pitch deck and financial forecast ready, start talking to a couple of investors. Select a good fundraiser. There are plenty of fundraisers in market. Select a good fundraiser who you think will be able to connect you to the right set of investors. Now, let's understand one thing. Not all investors invest everywhere, right? Investors are sector specific. Investors have their own ticket sizes. Each investor wants to invest at a specific stage and then exit, and wants to plan and exit at a specific stage. So let's give you an example, okay? So an investor might be wanting to might be looking to invest at an early stage, let's say pre-series stage, okay? He might be looking to exit by series A or maximum by series B, right? Now these kind of investors, be very, very clear when they want to take an entry, plan their exit properly, they would like it, right? Try and plan it, I would say. Rather, it's not practically possible to plan anything, but try and plan it properly so that they can take an exit by series A or B, right? That's something that you need to be very, very clear. That should show up in your financial projections. How are you going to grow the company? What's going to be the valuation growth? All those things. Then once you have done that, once the investor shows an interest in your project, an initial round of call happens, right? A first call will happen, second call will happen, a third call will happen, a deep dive call will happen, right? And then over a period of time, once the investor starts showing interest, they start getting into your due diligence, right? I have seen a lot of startups talk huge numbers in the beginning, but when actual due diligence happens, those numbers are not there on paper. Never have already broken the trust of an investor, right? Never ever do that. Be realistic. Investors understand that it's a startup. You have those great numbers. You might be burning a lot of cash. The profit margins might not be that. You're giving out things for free. Be honest. That's what investors look at, right? Then once the due diligence is done, right, you might get a term sheet. The negotiations happen on a term sheet, right? Post which you then start getting money into your account. There's a lot of negotiation that will happen during the term sheet, post the term sheet as well, right? And then finally, slot by slot, you start getting your money in the account. So that procedure of equity fundraise. Now, what I would want to do is I would want to take up a few questions rather than me talking all alone, right? I would want to take up a few questions. So wherever there are doubts or any answers that you need, you'll be able to get those answers out of me,
There are four visitors on the line. I think so. They are not. Let me ask you questions like, what now? Normally, investor take. Normally, what investors see. What can be the model of a business so that they should be ready to invest in business?
Right, great. So again, so each investor has their own specific choices, right? Let's say if I am an investor who likes to invest in F&B space, right? I have my own QSR restaurants. I have my own business in food and beverages, right? Now that's a segment that's very very close to me, dear to me. I like to invest in that space. It's not only money that I like to invest, but I also have a lot of strategic connects there. That's what we need to understand, right? So each investor has his own preferences of investing. There's no one specific rule. So there are a lot of investors who are sector agnostic as well, right? So they would want to look at everything and anything that comes across to them. Having said that, they will not invest everywhere. They will invest only in projects that make sense to them. All right. So investors again, they invest in projects that they understand. That's if I have to answer your question in one line, they will invest in projects or businesses where they understand your business well. It's hardly an investor who will invest in a business where they don't understand what you're trying to do or what you're trying to create, right? So that's one important point that an investor will always look at.
Okay, is it important that business should be of unique type, or it is also replicated of some other company?
Again, if it's a very unique one, get it patented. That definitely gives you a upper edge or a benefit in market. Also, investors like to see patented concepts, because then you've already created an entry barrier for your competitors to enter the market. Having said that, there are companies, me too products that have raised funding in market, right? पर नकल में भी अकल की जरूरत है, as people say, right? So you need to be, you can copy an initial concept, but after that you have to really be creative if you have to overtake the company from which you've churafied that concept. That is what I would say. Somewhere you have to become original. Somewhere you have to put your mind to grow your business. You can't keep copying somebody.
Okay, normally what kind of stake investor hold in a company, like 10%, 15%, like that?
True. Again, it all depends on investor to investor. A lot of times what happens is, first let's understand what are the type of investors available in market. Okay, so first is your set of investors who give you money and forget it, right? Second is the set of investors who give you money, handhold you, groom you, keep a normal eye on you, whether you're doing well, not you need any help, support, that kind of a thing. Third type of investors, they'll give you money, they'll give you their network, they'll give you your connection, they'll give you everything possible, right? They will play the game along with you, right? Now each has its own pros and cons. Now based on what value does the investor add to your project, they take equity accordingly. So let's say, as compared, an investor gives you, one investor will give you just money, he might take a little less equity. But if an investor gives you money as well as his contacts, as well as all the experience that he has in market, he's a strategic investor there, right? Which gives you a growth hack. So you might have taken 10-15 years to reach a stage. Now because you've got a strategic investor who's not only giving you money but also giving you growth hacks, he's giving you the network, the marketing, the distribution channels, right? Now that's where he would take a little bit more equity as well. So it all depends on case to case basis. Be very very careful. There are a lot of ways how you can negotiate. Anytime we'll tell you what to do, what not to do then.
Okay, where to find this kind of investor? There is some association or promoting, some companies are promoting about that, or we can directly call, where to find out this kind of people?
Sure. So that's where companies like ours come into play, basically, right? So a lot of investors, see, after all, it's a money game, right? You approach somebody and tell me, I need money. Do you really get money that way? I don't think so, right? Unless and until someone knows you, unless and until, they might reply back to you. I'm sure a lot of fans, a lot of people might reply back to you. But are you able to build that trust? Probably yes, probably no, right? That's where companies like ours come into play. Why? Because we know investors very, very well. We understand the way of working of individual investors, the way how funds operate. We have been dealing with them day in, day out. They understand while we send across deals to them. We have done our own due diligence first so that they don't have to worry about the genuine startup or the data that they'll be getting, right? So these are the things where fund houses or investors trust us. Get in touch with companies like ours, hire a good fundraiser. That is what I would say. If you want to reach out to good investors, hire a good fundraiser. They will be able to connect you to the good investors.
Okay, is there a what is there any if how decision as means for example I'm in a company, how I should take decision that this investor is right for me and I should go for it, and what precaution I should take if I'm accepting that investor to invest in my company, like what is the risk and so what should I do like that?
Sure, absolutely. So, first of all, what you need to do is you need to understand the background of an investor. Where is he coming from, right? What kind of an investor is he? So, is he an HNI private investor? Is it a fund house? Is it a syndicate of investors investing money in your project via their representative, right? Depending on what kind of investor is that person, right? Now you need to understand what role is that investor also going to play in your business. So is he going to working alongside you, giving you the contacts? As I said, is he going to be a strategic investor, or is he going to give you money and then walk out and do your business your way, right? You need to understand the mind of an investor. Also, apart from that, um, you might want to talk to the investor and understand what are the other businesses that he has, right? So that you understand how good you'll be able to pick up synergies from the other businesses of that investor and work alongside him. A few checks. These are a few things that you might want to look at. Apart from that, I'm sure over a period of time, while you have interaction with the investor, right, as you open up, the investor also opens up in front of you and tells you how he will be adding value to you, what's the support system that he'll be giving you, right? The day when someone gives you money, they also want to multiply that their money, right? So they will also tell you what's the support that they'll be giving you, how they can help you move forward, what are the contacts that they hold in market, right? So over a period of time, you'll get to know these things as well. Keep talking to your investors. You'll get to know more about them. Do some research on internet. You'll get about them.
Okay, and what is normally investors' internal rate of return? Like, should I keep in my mind that this investor will have the XYZ internal rate of return, which I have to pay back to him after certain period? And what can be the period that I should pay back to him?
Very good, very good. So early stage investors normally like to play around between 4 to 5 years. They like to take an exit. So if someone is investing at a pre-seed level, right, they would like to take an exit by series A or B, 4 5 years kind of a time frame. However, when you look at family offices, they actually have a longer time frame in mind because they like to play a longer game, right? It's not only money, but they would give you a lot of connects as well if family offices are investing in you. So it all depends on what stage the investor is joining you, what kind of an investor is it, right? It depends on all these things basically. So there's no set rule as such, but yes, again, so investors understand that not all businesses will give them the same kind of returns. That's also one thing that the investors understand, right? And that's where they like to diversify their portfolio. So let's say, for an example, if I have 10 CR, right, I might want to invest in 10 different startups. I might invest 1 CR in each startup so that I diversify it, right? And I know that out of the 10 startups that I've invested in, 5 are going to die out or not give me any returns, right? 1 or 2 might give me 10x returns. Rest 2 or 3 might just give me what I've invested. But that 1 or 2 that gives me 10x, 15x returns, that's where I make money basically, right? So investors do understand all these things and then play a game. So that's what the investors normally look at.
Okay, now, can you tell me what? Is there any minimum amount that is fixed that only this up to this amount only investors are investing the money, or it can be any kind of money like zero to whatever the infinite number?
True, absolutely. So these days we've seen groups in our country, right? I have seen angel groups who have kept their minimum ticket size at 1 lakh rupees as well, right? So today investing in startups is not difficult. you need to get associated with a good angel group. You need to get associated with a good fundraiser or an investment banker who can help you invest your money in the right direction in the good startups. That is what I would say. So there's no minimum as such when it comes, right? However, as per SEBI regulation, if it's a fund to their LPs, the minimum amount is once a year, right? So if you are investing your money via a fund and if you plan to become an LP there, right, the minimum amount is once a year. So that's how it works normally. However, when the fund invests in a startup, each fund house, each investor will have their own ticket size that they are looking to invest, right? So there's no lower limit as such. Uh, I've seen startups raise as less as 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees from individual investors and then create a startup amount to get their company rolling, right? So it's all up to how you want to invest. If the startup with the amount that you want to get, if you are happy with the equity that the startup is giving you, nobody's stopping you to do business.
Okay, is there any place where company can go there and make a business plan for before pitching to the investor, or somebody teach us how to make a business plan or pitching teaser and all like that?
Absolutely.
Okay, and now can you tell us that
Sure.
how as per your experience?
Absolutely. That's something that we can teach you, right? We can tell you what to do. We can help you create a good.
Okay, can you tell us your best wherever as per your company you said which is
How?
success? Can you tell us some cases about your investing in some of the good successful company where you have invested so far? Can you hear me?
Yatish, your voice is not clear. I'm not able to hear you.
I'm asking, can you explain us some good case where you have invested in some successful company?
Absolutely, definitely. So give you a few company name where we've raised funding for these guys. Okay, we've raised funding for a company called ARC that's into robotic gaming, right? So all the small and big. Sure. I got that. Right. So a few companies. Let me name a few companies where we've raised successful funding for them. Right. First is RC Inc. So these robotic gaming. So all the small and big cars that we see racing back in Europe on mud, sand, water, mountains. Right. We're trying to get that concept here in India. So COVID, it's taken a backseat, but once the COVID is out, we'll see a lot of these kind of gaming clubs coming up here in India very soon. Right? We've raised funding for these guys. We raised funding for a company called VFly India. These guys are into virtual reality based adventure sports. Right? So let's say I like to do skydiving. However, skydiving is banned here in India. So these king all the adventure sports on for these guys. We've raised funding company called Bizlo. That's into security tech. It's a direct competitor of Highgate, right? We've raised funding for a company called Cloudbar. It's a liquor tech app. So let's say I like to drink whiskey, right? I buy a bottle of whiskey on the app and then go jumping and hopping clubs, right? Where I then don't have to pay basically. The drink keeps getting redeemed from my app, right? So these are a few companies to name a few where we've raised, have around about 5-7 open portfolio companies where we're looking to raise funds now, right? So that's what we basically do.
Okay, before closing, can you tell us some tips, important tips to the people who are looking for raising fund for their startups, or what kind of stages of their companies are? Uh, can you give us some important words to them?
Sure, absolutely. First things first, get your documentation right. Your pitch deck, your financial forecast, your documentation needs to be correct, right? Your first impression is the last impression. Do not waste investors' time, right? Rehearse pitching a couple of times. Don't just jump into it. I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs just come on stage and then pitch to the investors, or come on a call and pitch to investors. Don't do that. Don't do that. It doesn't look good on your side, right? You are not prepared. Be prepared with your numbers. I've seen startups quote incorrect numbers to investors, and then the investors start losing confidence. Don't do that, right? be on top of the game. That is what I would say. While you pitching is again a full-time activity, right? As a startup, you need to understand you have to convince investors for them to invest money in your business, right? And a person will only give you money if he is convinced that his money is safe and secure, and you'll be able to give him the returns that he's expecting, right? Couple of other things. If you have get a couple of people along with you on the call. When I say couple of people, if you have a founder there, both the people on the call, because you don't go back to an investor saying, I don't have an answer to this, my co-founder knows this, or someone else knows the answer, right? Again, looks very, very bad on your side. Be really prepared with the calls that you have with the investor, right? um, Understand how a fundraising process works. A lot of people still don't understand the fundraising process. So what they think is, हो जाएगा, इन्वेस्टर से बात कर लो, पैसा मिल जाएगा, सबको मिल रहा है, हमको ही मिल जाएगा. Don't have that attitude. It doesn't work that way. The people who have raised funds, they know exactly the fundraising process. They've probably faltered a couple of times and thereafter realized that this is the right fundraising process, and that's how they've done it, right? So you also understand the fundraising process. I would say these are a couple of points, initial points, keep in mind, and thereafter stage by stage you'll keep learning what to do. Take help from experts like us, right? We guys are there to help you out. Take our help, take our support, and we'll be more than happy to help you with your fundraise, right?
Okay. Thank you, Devang Raja, for your insights and your thoughts given to the people who are listening to us, who are planning to raise fund. I hope they will get in touch with you if they have any comments, question and answer on that. And also, I
Sure.
will
Most welcome.
and also I would like to announce that we will be coming up with a half an hour series with one-to-one talk with Devang Raja on how to raise fund shortly. So thank you,
Thank you.
Devang,
Thanks,
for
Yatish.
coming.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for coming to my show.
Thanks, Yatish. It was fantastic talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.